Hey, what's up, everyone? First of all, let me just say welcome to Global Studies 102, which is Global Issues. My name is Rick Epps, and I am the professor for this class. And I'm excited to have you here for this quick 8-week session. Uh, there's a lot for us to cover, but I think I've got it set up where I think we can pace ourselves pretty well and get through this. And so I'm excited. I'm excited to help all of you who either have traveled around the world and those who haven't sort of come to understand a little bit more about how the world works and how we got to where we are just in this global community and what it means to be a global community. Um, First of all, let me just say a couple things. First, we're going to be looking at a variety of different things around the world and looking at how small the world has gotten in the last 100 years, mostly because of technological innovation, obviously, internet and communication and transportation with aircraft and faster ships and all kinds of things that have happened in the last 100 plus years from the Industrial Revolution going forward have made the world a much smaller place. Uh, this is an amazing event, and it certainly has had a lot of positives. But on the other side, it has a lot of negatives. I shouldn't say a lot of negatives. Let me back up from that. Not necessarily a lot of negatives, but it does come with consequences, uh, particularly when it comes to the clash of cultures, and when people start coming closer together. Just like in families, right? Your family, you might love them to death, but sometimes they get too close, and you're like, okay, you can take a little vacation right now, and I've seen you enough. uh, and this happens around the world with other countries as well. And so, in that, one of the things that we'll be doing throughout the semester is sort of exploring and looking at all the different factors that impact the issues that we're going to be looking at in this class. So that means we'll be looking at, obviously, of course, the political implications, the economic stuff in terms of how money relates across various borders, uh, trade. Uh, we'll be looking at culture, socioeconomic issues, and how they impact one another. How we have to learn in this age of technological innovation, which has, again, much positive about it. How to balance the technology and innovation with our human nature. So, for example, when we talk about things like social media, social media has a lot of positive aspects to it, but it also has some dangerous aspects to it, which also then goes to the context of what does it mean to be free and how can you have too much freedom. Uh, and so we'll explore that a little bit in this class. There's a lot of things we'll be looking at. I have videos for every chapter we'll be exploring that'll help challenge you to look at things through a different lens and hopefully get you to take the hat off the top of your head and take in new information. And sometimes that's easier said than done because sometimes we get to a point in our lives where we think we know what we know. So when people challenge us with new information, it sometimes can be a bit daunting. But nonetheless, we're going to dive into this. There are a lot of different things we'll look at. Particularly, I've tried to find four themes, particularly. So we start off the early part of this 8-week session. The first couple of weeks, I always start slow. I like to ease into things. One, because it's new to all of you for the most part, but also because it gives you a chance to kind of get up and running. The only things you have to get doing right away, there's an attendance verification on our Canvas site I need you to do. This way I can find out who's going to actually physically, not physically, but actually be in the class on Canvas and those who aren't, so I can drop the ones who aren't, so I can add all those who run the wait list. So it's important that you do that in the next few days. Otherwise, I'll probably, as of Wednesday night, I'll probably start dropping people. So please just take a second to do it. All you have to do is type in here and hit submit, and then it's done. So please take care of that post haste. The other thing is just really kind of just being conscious of the getting to know each other discussion, which I get basically some free points, and all it is basically talk a little bit about why you're taking the class, what you're doing, all that kind of stuff. It's real simple, but just to get you dialoguing with your classmates a little bit so you can say hello, introduce yourself, those kinds of things. We have a full class this semester, so it should be pretty fun and engaging. Um, I'm a person who believes in quality of work, not quantity of work. So while I don't have, you won't find midterms and finals in my class, but I do have some short writing assignments that you have to do. So for example, for each chapter that we have that we're going to do, that you'll do like a little brief summary on the chapter, like what you got from the chapter, what was important about it. But that's only like a paragraph or two at most. And then we also have our discussions. So we have chapter discussions where you'll be dialoguing. I'll ask a question, you'll have to respond to it, and then after responding to it, you'll have to respond to a couple of your other classmates about the issues as well. Um, so the important thing as you get started is to follow the orientation videos, because they're there to help you. So they'll show you what the class looks like on the inside and kind of walk you through the process of the class. Of course, if you have any questions, you can always reach out to me. Um, I have office hours, which I already have listed inside the Canvas on our module. But also, you can reach out to me through Pronto. I use Pronto quite a bit, so I'm always accessible one way or another. And I try to get back to you within 24 hours. If I happen to be on, I'll try and answer you right away. But um, please know that I'm always about starting slow, so you've got plenty of time to kind of digest what you have to do to get started. My only thing I ask is that try not to get too far behind. Try and keep up with things. Just because it's like when we're doing discussions, it's very difficult to do discussions if you decide to check in 2 weeks after the discussion's over. That doesn't help anybody. So make sure you try, and I give you a good window, a couple of weeks to do most of the discussions. So it shouldn't be too bad and too hard on you. You'll also see when you get to the syllabus, you'll see a couple things in there where there's 2 chapters that we do for each of the assignments. And that's because one week it talks about an issue, the next week it talks about the challenges of those issues. So I want you to be able to kind of do both of those in the same week so we can look at it and then look at the challenges to the things we're looking at. So for example, we'll start off, we'll be looking at security, international security issues. So we'll talk about what those are, and then we'll talk about the challenges to security issues. Um, and then we'll get into economic prosperity, the rich and the poor, how the rich get richer and how the poor get poorer, and what we can, if anything, do to mitigate some of those issues. So uh, one of the things I think you'll find really interesting about this class regarding the issues is because it will help you really be able to sort of understand and hopefully empathize with those from other places in other countries, so that you can understand the plight that they live under, but also to understand those that when we look at those other countries, how we understand things that are different than what we believe in or what we see in our own country, and recognizing that there may not necessarily be a right answer for everything, but that we have to respect other people and other cultures. Uh, just like we want them to, to respect our whatever our culture is, we should also do the same. Uh, so that's it. So we'll get started. I've talked enough. I try not to go over no more than 10 minutes on these videos. Some of the lecture videos will go a little longer, just because it's depending on the chapters and the nuance of the video. Um, but certainly let 30 minutes or less. And sometimes might show my face. Usually I try to use the PowerPoints because I think it's a good way to be able to help you sort of follow along with stuff. Uh, but I'm here to help, and anything I can do to make that happen, I will do. Please do look at the syllabus because you are responsible for it. So it lays out all the deadlines, all the dates are there, and they're also in the modules. I'm a real big fan of people being responsible. So I'm here to help, but I also want to make sure you're looking at and get used to looking at the Canvas website, because remember, this is an online class, so you are responsible. So make sure that you go through it and get comfortable. So you should know pretty much when the due dates are and kind of where things are and how they are set up. So please give yourself a moment to do that so that it will help you when you're reaching out to me, that there's not questions necessarily that are right in front of your face. Okay, so be responsible in that. I'm really big about people being grown-ups in the room, and I know a lot of you are adults already. So again, don't hesitate to ask, but please take a look first so that I know you're doing your due diligence. All right. And with that, I will say, let's just have a fun semester. Let's learn some stuff about the world, and let me help you sort of broaden your scope of your view. Um, and I will see you on the next one, the next video. All right. You guys take care. All right. Bye.